Hi, Harry the Hedgehog here. Just popped along to introduce this video about me and my friends, the European hedgehogs. Our numbers are in serious decline, and I wanted to tell you why and what steps you can take to help us. This will raise some interesting questions with difficult, sometimes impossible answers, but it is important for you to understand the facts. Thank you.
And we will hear more from Harry as we go through this conservation fact file. As Harry said, the much-loved hedgehog, sometimes called a hedge pig or Miss Tiggywinkles, is in serious decline. In just the last 20 years, the hedgehog population has declined by 30% in urban areas and 50% in rural areas. But in fact, the decline has been going on much longer than that, and the hedgehog is now on the vulnerable to extinction list. So now is the time to introduce measures to halt this decline. So let's learn a bit more about this cute and sometimes secretive, prickly creature. The European hedgehog is between 20 and 30 centimetres from nose to tail. They also have surprisingly long legs, about 10 centimetres, which you normally only see when they are running. Adult hedgehogs have between 5,000 and 7,000 spines on their body, each of which is around 2 to 3 centimetres long. These are their main mode of defence when attacked by predators. Hedgehogs curl up in a tight, spiky ball, making it difficult for their attackers. Hedgehogs are mainly active at night. Their eyesight is relatively poor, so they rely on their senses of hearing and smell to search for food and to navigate. They give birth in June and July, and they have an average litter size of 4 or 5 hoglets. However, they usually only wean 2 or 3 hoglets successfully. So what do they eat? Firstly, they are an omnivore, meaning they are an animal that is naturally able to eat both plants and meat. The primary diet of the omnivorous hedgehog includes anything they can get into their mouths. Worms, slugs, beetles, millipedes, eggs of ground-nesting birds all feature in their diet. Just the simple fact that they eat slugs is an excellent reason for keen gardeners to encourage the hogs into their gardens. Natural pest control. As the name suggests, the hedgehog prefers to frequent field hedgerows, woodland edges, and some suburban habitats. This is where they live, find their food, mate, and rear their young hoglets. However, over the last 50 years, there has been a serious reduction in this kind of habitat. Urban development, road construction, intensive farming, and hedgerow removal have all contributed to the decline in good hedgehog habitat. The consequences of this are less food being available, fewer nesting and hibernation areas, and thus the carrying capacity of that habitat is seriously reduced. Development of roads also has a huge impact, with thousands of hedgehog deaths each year, mainly in the summer, particularly in July when they are most active. The increased use of chemicals in farming, particularly slug pellets, also plays a part in reducing the food supply available by reducing invertebrate diversity and abundance. Hedgehogs will eat carrion, so the irresponsible use of rodenticides can also be a problem. But users now have to take and pass a rodenticide course to ensure best practice. One major problem for the hedgehog is predation by badgers. This is an uncomfortable matter for many to discuss, and so they tend to ignore the problem. But it is one which must be faced, giving rise to an interesting question. When one animal heading for extinction is being regularly eaten by another far more numerous but protected animal, should man interfere, and what should that intervention be? If you doubt predation by badgers is true, I quote the example of the islands of Uist in Scotland, which have no badgers or foxes living there, but now have so many hedgehogs present that they are eating all the seabird and wader eggs. This is necessitating their removal to the mainland at vast expense, only then to be faced with the possible prospect of being eaten by the local badgers when they are eventually released. And therein lies the intriguing problem. Badgers prey upon and actively hunt hedgehogs, such that this has caused a landscape of fear for hedgehogs in the countryside, causing them to leave farmland head for suburbia and private gardens where there are fewer predators. The fact that they do this may actually be a lifeline for the hedgehog population, but house owners and gardeners should be aware how their actions can impact that population. Food can be provided for them. They will take it readily to supplement their normal diet. Here's Harry again.
Please don't put up bread and milk. Bread has no nutritional value for us, and we are lactose intolerant, so the milk will actually make us ill. Conversely, specialist hedgehog or wet dog food or mixed selection of fruit, nuts and seeds, etc. are ideal, containing all the necessary vitamins to maintain or improve our health.
To help stop competition for food from cats and foxes, it is best practice to place the food under cover, but still allowing access for the hog. It is important that any garden fences should incorporate an access and exit hole somewhere along the fence line. Hedgehogs can travel up to 1 to 2 miles each night in search of food and a mate at breeding time. To deny this may not only limit the food supply, but will also have the added danger of local populations fragmenting, losing contact with other groups, and thus losing genetic diversity and eventually dying out. Care should be taken when using garden equipment such as strimmers, putting up netting which could trap them, and of course dogs are a constant danger from dog bites. Always check before burning any pile of garden rubbish that there is not a resident hibernating hedgehog. However, a carefully managed garden with piles of dry wood and leaves and ponds with steps can help the hedgehogs thrive, and in return they will help manage your garden pests.
So now you know a bit more about me and my friends and how you can help us survive in the urban environment. You can now enjoy seeing us hedgehogs at night in your garden. Listen out for us snuffling around in the undergrowth and our strange calls and sounds as we go about our nocturnal activities.
Thanks, Harry. Not only have we learnt a little more about you, but we're also starting to understand there are difficult questions to be addressed when trying to maintain the balance in our countryside. So until next time, goodbye for now.